That's how people end up living lives that look fine on paper but feel empty on the inside. You didn't consciously choose a life that isn't yours. Your body slowly adapted to stress by putting authenticity on the back burner. You became more practical, more responsible, more manageable, less you. And here's the part that usually surprises people. This state often gets mistaken for maturity, discipline, or adulthood. You tell yourself things like, "This is just how life is," or "Everyone feels this way," or "I should be grateful," but underneath that, there's a persistent sense that something is missing, not something external, but you. Sleep plays a much bigger role in this than most people realize. Sleep isn't just when your body rests, it's when your nervous system reintegrates your experience, it's when emotional memory, identity, and self-relevance get stitched back together. When sleep is shallow, fragmented, or driven by exhaustion instead of real shutdown, that reintegration doesn't fully happen. You wake up functional, but not connected, awake, but not present. Over time, that creates a strange split. You're living life from the outside and instead of the inside out. You react instead of choose. You follow routines instead of impulses. You keep things stable instead of meaningful. And then one day you look around and think, how did I end up here? Even if nothing is objectively wrong. This is also why advice like, find your passion, change your mindset, or take a leap feels impossible or even irritating. When your nervous system is depleted, the idea of making big, values-driven changes feels threatening, not exciting. Your body isn't asking for purpose, it's asking for safety and rest. And that's the key shift most people miss. You don't reconnect with yourself by thinking harder about who you are. You reconnect by restoring the physiological conditions that allow your sense of self to come back online. When your system isn't constantly bracing, you start feeling preferences again. Curiosity returns, music hits differently, conversations feel more real. You notice what drains you and what gives you energy without having to analyze it to death. That's not magic, that's regulation. A regulated nervous system has room for personality, for desire, for agency. An overloaded one doesn't. It narrows life down to what's manageable, not what's meaningful. This is why, in the guide, the focus isn't on reinventing your life or making drastic changes, it's on restoring the basic rhythms that tell your body it's safe to feel again, especially at night, because when sleep becomes genuinely restorative, something subtle but powerful starts to happen. You don't wake up with all the answers, but you wake up feeling more here, more inside your own experience, less like you're watching yourself live from a distance. And from that place, choices start to shift naturally, not because you force them, but because you can finally feel what's true for you again. So if you've been carrying this quiet grief of, I don't recognize myself anymore, or, this doesn't feel like my life, please understand this. It doesn't mean you missed your chance or took a wrong turn, it means your system adapted to survive, and in the process, it muted the parts of you that weren't essential at the time. Those parts aren't gone, they're just waiting for the conditions where it's safe to come back. And once your nervous system starts to feel that safety again, life doesn't suddenly change overnight, but it starts to feel like yours again. And that's the beginning of everything else falling back into place.